to take out the Iris there was a smart decision. You don't see Tsarian a whole lot, and it was nice to see how he played with it. What do you think about that, Childish?
I'm in the same boat on that one here. Iris is such a strong unit, but again, there's going to be tons of units. There's no one team that you can essentially, take down and whatnot. Every team can be beatable, so bringing Tsarian here, a formidable unit that anybody can get. He had a composition that actually had multiple units that have unique passes here, so having Tsarian in there gives him some options to see who he can focus on.
Is Iris the kiss of death? You talked about both players have now lost having drafted that monster.
It is interesting because typically Iris is one of the better monsters for RTA, and the fact that both players, when they had Iris on their team, they ended up losing. But it could also be that both players were expecting to fight against an Iris and both players were prepared to fight against an Iris.
So a lot riding on this round 3, Childish, if you are Island and or if you are Shredded at this point, given the way both of these matches played out, the way the bans played out and the counters played out, what are you looking to do to make sure you're going to advance on the PvP side of things?
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm curious to see what's going to go on. I think they have to kind of stick what has worked with them the most. These guys have spent countless hours, incorporating a variety of teams, but now it is one-to-one. Anything can happen, so I hope that they choose something that is going to go ahead and that they feel confident about taking them down, considering that both of the people have that Iris monster.
More of that bruiser approach, Clay?
Yeah, it could be that bruiser approach. Shredded might go back to the sustainability approach with the Chessoon that he did in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, certainly what worked for him. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, perhaps.
Exactly right.
But of course, the problem there, it's tempting to look at that sort of simple logic, which you would think would apply in other situations, is that your opponent knows that that's what you're thinking. You may go right back to the well, and he's going to make the sort of adjustments if he's, the consummate professional and playing at the level that these guys are, that isn't going to allow it to be as effective moving forward.
Right. That's true, though. Even though he might go back to that same approach, that's not to say that the opponent isn't going to have something or not be able to counter that at all.
They're not just going to phone it in and put up the same draft that they did the first time around that didn't work against that approach. So it looks like we're ready to get back down to the arena for the third round between ShreddedPuzzle and Island Grown. Let's draft.
All right, it looks like Island Grown is going to be able to get the first pick. He locks down Villagel, a very, very strong unit to start out with here. ShreddedPuzzle is now up. He's going to have 2 monsters versus 1 here. That's the benefit of having not the first pick here. Now he's going to be able to kind of line up and kind of set the pace for Island Grown to see what he's going to do.
So is he going to go with the Iris pick? I think that's the question that everybody's looking at here. Or is he just going to give it to Island Grown? It looks like he is going to take Iris. He also is going to take the Wind Monkey King as well. That gave him a lot of advantage in the first round.
Definitely here. Now Island Grown is up to pick his second set of monsters here. He has about 19 seconds to decide. It looks like he's going to go with what works here. He's going to go ahead and pick that Tsarian here. I'm curious to see. Yep, there it is. There's Rakan here. Another crucial monster for ShreddedPuzzle's team. I'm curious what he decides to choose.
And all of these choices, Clay, come with the context of those first 2 outcomes for each of these players. They've won 1 and lost 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Tsarian going up against the Iris and the Xingje there, the Wind Monkey King, that's a huge counter to both of those monsters, so it'd be interesting to see what ShreddedPuzzle does. Having the water jack-lantern, though, that's not a monster that you see every day in RTA. So, however, the Raccoony there, that's a little monster it's super annoying, super hard to deal with. Grants a lot of extra turns, though, for his allies.
Shredded claims that one of his strengths is researching and adapting to specific players in the RTA. So clearly, he's got a lot of experience in figuring out things and solving those puzzles.
Yep, it looks like he has brought a very, very unique unit to the mix. So we got Julian the Light, a vampire, a natural 5-star LND monster here. ShreddedPuzzle is now waiting to see what he's going to do. I like what he's trying to bring with regards to the beneficial effect removers, Chilling and Iris here. But looking at his standpoint here, he goes for Chessoon versus the DPS here. What do you think about that, Clay?
I think going back to his first round, that's what worked for him. He did go ahead, though, and ban out the Tsarian, which was the main counter to his Iris and his Xingje. So he should be in a good situation, though. He's just going to have to deal with that Rakan and Julian pick.
It seemed like that was the right ban, yeah, Childish?
Yeah, I do think so here. Both of them have a tons of immunity, but again, with this Iris and this Chilling here, they're going to be able to remove that beneficial effect there, and so it's just going to be going back and forth there. Let's see who gets it done.
Third round. Final matchup in the round of 8, and here we go.
All right, it looks like We got the magic sword in, definitely trying to lock down that Villagel. Villagel not able to use his immunity and his cleanse. Now we got Chilling here that's going to go ahead and try to focus down the monster. He's taking his time, trying to decide if he wants to go ahead and buff up or go for the beneficial effect. He does go for the buffs here. Now,
Chasun as well ended up going and using her second seal. Instead of saving that for when monsters are low on health, she still ended up going ahead and increasing the attack power so that way, hopefully, Shredded could potentially nuke down one of the monsters.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, with regards to the violent procs here, it can be something that we cannot disregard here. If ShreddedPuzzle gets some lucky hits, having that attack buff early on can definitely provide that additional DPS to take an opponent down.
That was a nice stun, though, on Iris, locking that down, giving the immunity another chance without having to worry about anything getting removed.
Yeah, but it looks like Rakan is up now, got some immunity in. It's going to try to take out Iris here, but wasn't able to get the job done here. It's going to be pretty close, but it looks like now Shredded's Chilling is going to be up here. I'm looking to see who he decides to go for.
Chilling should still go after. I was thinking he was going to still go after the light Vertihile over there, the light vampire. But with the Chasun being almost full attack gauge and health, should be able to bring that Iris back up to full health here in just a second. So don't count that low health Iris out just yet.
Yeah, that's one of the unique things with regards to Julian, the light vampire here. It cannot be taken down without the opponents here. It has this passive called Immortality that's going to provide HP. It's going to be able to drain HP from the additional monsters here. So ultimately, if you decide to go for it before, focus down Julian beforehand, it's still going to be able to revive due to the monsters that are already in here.
Yeah, that's definitely a good observation as well. So he may think, do you think he's going to switch his focus now maybe to Belgior, or is he still going to go after that Julian?
Yeah, it looks like he's still trying to work on Julian. Julian might be a little bit more squishy. If it's able to take it down, it can reduce those HPs. But yeah, I feel like he probably should try to go for a different opponent here. But it looks like he's going to go ahead and mix it up.
Looks like ISLANDGROWN, though, is still definitely going after the Iris as much as possible. Not having enough sustain, though, as ShreddedPuzzle does with the Chasun in there, could be dangerous for him as it goes into later rounds for this match.
The good thing about ShreddedPuzzle, he's going to be feeling pretty confident here. Even though ISLANDGROWN has two ways of providing beneficial effects and immunity, between Chilling and Iris here, that's going to be a great counter. It's going to take a little bit of time to get those buffs down, but at the end of the day, I still think he's going to be able to have RNG in his factory to go ahead and take these units out here. We got a clutch stun here from Julian to Xingzhe here. Xingzhe is going to be stunned. Looks like Chilling's going to do some work here, provided that buff for the party here. But of course, the damage has already been done on Xingzhe. He lost a turn, and now it's up to ISLANDGROWN to do some work here. Looks like he's trying to focus down Xingzhe.
It's going to be really tough for him, though, to take out that Xingzhe, though, with the Chasun still in play.
Yeah, it definitely will. It definitely will. Looks like he's going for a conservative approach here, trying to get his monsters back in the bay. ShreddedPuzzle trying to do work back on Villagel here. I think he can go ahead and get it done, but we'll have to see what he decides to do here. Chasun, even with the elemental disadvantage, he's trying to take the opponent down because, as you've seen multiple times play, despite the elemental advantage or disadvantage, when you have a critical monster that is a foundation of their team, you generally want to focus it down.
Yeah, generally want to make sure that you're taking out the monster that the other player has built their entire team around. So in this situation, this is the Xingzhe for ShreddedPuzzle and the Rakan for ISLANDGROWN.
Looks like Shredded is jumping out into a commanding position here after that last sequence of attacks.
Definitely.
It's definitely a good spot right now.
We got 3 out of the 4 monsters locked down with stuns here. He's just going to take them out one by one here, looking in favor of Shredded. Now we're sitting at 4 monsters to 3. Rakan is able to get a big collapse here, provoking the Xingzhe here. Now Xingzhe won't be able to attack any other monster from Rakan.
Unfortunately, it's just not enough damage to do too much to the Xingzhe. Does get a stun from Iris, and the Chasun is going to be able to heal up his whole team again, also provide the attack power boost to his allies.
There we go. We got another magic sword in it. You could tell ShreddedPuzzle definitely has his game plan in order here, making sure that that Villagel can't clear it out, and he's able to take it down. It is now ShreddedPuzzle 4 monsters to 2. Here we go. There's the passive coming into play here, Immortality, but it wasn't enough here to get the job done. He was able to take out Julian here. Now it's just about Rakan, and Rakan is down. There it is. ShreddedPuzzle takes the win, 2-1.
ShreddedPuzzle there with a completely different approach with Chilling. Though I do like it, though, against the Rakan, it was able to remove the will or the immunity buffs off Rakan.
Putting that water jack-o'-lantern to work, too. We hadn't seen anybody else draft that monster at this point, had we?
Nope, and it's funny because one of the people that has definitely brought that to the meta here that is currently here, Fwa, he loves that unit. He's played around with it countless times here, and I think a lot of people have kind of taken a step back to take a look at what he's been doing here and incorporated some of these unique monsters into the mix.
So Shredded Puzzle is going to move forward on the PvP side of the bracket to face Koopa Troopa in the round of 4, but of course, it's time for Island Grown to refocus and get himself through this revival bracket and this dungeon run. 3 minutes, 20 seconds, the time to beat from 0-bit.
He definitely has the monsters to do it. A lot of the players have been running their dungeons throughout the entire weekend that they've been here, and I've seen a few of them, and we'll see what he pulls out here. He should be in a good spot, though.
Yep, he definitely knows that with regards to that time. He's going to have to push the envelope here with all 3 teams here. I'm curious to see what he decides to do. I'm guessing he's going to be running that Lucian Teshar combo here. Yep, he definitely picks that here. Probably going to be looking for his Galleon here, then provide 2 more units to supplement his DPS.
Well, he does have the advantage of having seen 0-bit's approach already that yielded that 3 minutes and 20-second time, which included taking the Necro dungeon second after the Giants instead of third behind the Dragon dungeon.
Yeah, but oftentimes, though, with seeing another opponent's combination or setup with their monsters, a lot of times these players have their runes so tuned where if they were to try to use somebody else's monster that they use, they might not have the same rune quality on it. Right, so they kind of just have to stick with what they've already planned out for the match previously.
I like that last pick there with regards to his composition here, utilizing Luna and Lin. Both units have a 3rd skill that has the ability to do damage based on the enemy's max HP. When he gets to that stage 5 boss, he's going to be able to do work on that. Lin actually just got recently changed with regards to the development notes here. All 3 skills can do damage based on max HP, so she's definitely part of the PvE meta when it comes to speed-based.
Huge hit there by Lin, almost taking down the boss there in 1 shot. That's exactly why she's in his run, and she's actually a part of one of the fastest Dragon Speed 10 teams out there right now.
Yeah. Island Grown definitely knows what he's doing here. He's doing a ton of damage here. Wow, 67,000.
Wow.
Is that a new world record or what? Oh my goodness.
Fast auto team right
Wow.
there. 41 seconds.
41 seconds, blistering pace from Island Grown, and certainly setting himself up to potentially beat that 0-bit time. 0-bit's got to be backstage somewhere, sweating bullets.
Definitely.
Very well could be, but it all comes down to the Giants. The Dragons and the Necro B10 teams.
Yeah,
You think Island's going to go with the Necro second?
I don't know. It looks like no. He is going for the Dragons.
He's going Dragons, yeah.
He's going Dragons here. So again, of course, these guys can choose which one they want to go for, but ultimately, it all depends on what they feel confident of. This is definitely one that he's going to probably push the envelope here. As you can see beforehand, we have a lot of people utilizing that Vertihill Galleon Tart combination here, and now he has Luna in here.
Thinking about his last pick, though, is he going to go with another Lin pick on this one, do you think, Chavish?
I don't know. I kind of like Lin in this situation, but I also like Stella here. Tark is one of those monsters with that 3rd skill group hunt that's going to be able to pull monsters and provide their 1st skill harmful effects here. Having Galleon being the only defense breaker here, it's definitely going to be a crucial situation if he misses that clutch defense break on the monsters here.
Locked in with Yaku, though. This team has the ability to give him a really fast run. It is going to be close, though. It's also pretty YOLO, so he may or may not be able to finish it 100% of the time, so there is a chance that he could potentially lose.
Well, he knows he has to gamble if he's going to beat that 3 minute and 20-second time, so he's out there with speed, but at the risk of not clearing.
Yeah, definitely here. With regards to this composition here, one of the cool monsters that I really like to mention here, Yaku, the Water M champion here. 2nd skill being able to do damage based on the enemy's match speed, similar to Luna, the Dark Parade here. 3rd skill is going to have the opportunity to have that 20% chance via 5 turns to go ahead and get ignored defense. So between his 2 damage dealing monsters here, he definitely has the potential to catch up and get a really nice speed time.
So far, so good, though. Let's hope his Galleon has that time to loot skill back up for the boss stage. He does not.
Yeah.
Opts to take the 2nd skill. Let's hope he gets the defense break here very, very quickly. He does at least get it on that. Also a group hunt by the Tark. Now he gets the time to loot to increase the attack power. Luna with a pretty big hit. The right tower does get the immunity, so this can slow him down and potentially kill his team, but he should have enough HP. Ooh, big hit there by the Dragon, but he should still be able to pull it off with Yaku. He was able to. Very, very nice. A little scary there for a little bit.
He's sweating it right now, but he got it done. Minute 13, not too shabby at all.
Not too shabby at all is right. He is now at a total time of 1 minute and 54 seconds, giving him a minute and 30 roughly, a minute 26 to get the job done in the Necro dungeon.
You can definitely do it too.
Yeah, you got some monsters here. We're going to see what he decides to do again. We're back at the Necropolis stage here. Now we're looking to bring a ton of units that are going to provide the harmful effects that he needs, the slows, the defense breaks, the attack buffs, but more notably just overall looking for units that are going to provide a ton of multi-hits because he has to break down that shield quick enough so that he can do damage before the Lich King gets another turn.
Yeah, and you notice a lot of the players here this weekend are using the Lich monsters. Island Grown right now showing Grego and Fuko. Also pulls an Ethna, which was recently buffed and very, very nice for Necro B10. Let's see what he goes ahead and uses for his leader. He pulled up Lucian for just a little bit. Is he going to go ahead and lock it in? Looks like he does. Took a second thought about it, though, because it may not have been 100% reliable for him in the past.
I kind of like his style of play here. He has that Lucian that's going to be able to ignore the defense on that third skill, Amputation Magic, but also he's bringing Ethna. Ethna having a multi-hit on the third skill, 5 additional hits for that boss, but it has also a second skill that's going to provide an AoE defense break to help the party clear those first 4 stages.
Yeah, quick clear, though, on the first round by Lucian. Also another quick clear on the second round. Let's see how he deals with this mini-boss, though.
Yeah, but it looks like he's going to go ahead and target. Very smart choice here. He wants to take out this boss as quick as possible here. He got the harmful effects that he needs, the slows, the defense breaks here. Hopefully he can get an attack buff here to try to make things a little bit easier when it comes to the retaliation of that enemy.
Whoa!
Yep. He got it down there. Okay, we're still in it to win it here. Lucian is still alive. It's going to be an interesting situation there. Hopefully Lucian doesn't get knocked out here. Looks like he got really good control of the fight here. RNG is definitely in his favor play.
Yeah, he's moving right along through this 4th stage, up to the final battle. Able to get the slow, which is exactly what he needs. Did not get the defense break, though, that he was looking for. You could see it in his face there with a little bit of frustration.
But that is all right. The big thing there is to get that slow first round, just to slow the monster, and for that second round of attacks here, get an additional opportunity to provide a little bit more DPS.
Yeah, nice counter there. Able to take away a little bit of that HP or the shield from the boss. Did get his monster grabbed, so let's see if he's able to pull his Fuko back before the time runs out here.
Ooh, it looks like he's actually... Nice
hit, though, by Lucian. Taking out a huge chunk of HP.
Yep, if you notice there, he actually opted to stay on the boss and let his AoE monsters do the work on that monster. It was able to get the job done.
Is it going to be enough?
Is it going to be enough?
It's going to be really close, guys. A minute and 34 seconds.
Just waiting for the final verdict.
I think it's 328 total.
Let's take a look.
It is 3 minutes and 28 seconds by just 8 seconds. 0-bit holds on and Island Grown is eliminated.
So close. That's what it comes down to, just 8 seconds there.
Yeah. It felt like he didn't get that, was it the defense that he needed on that 5th round in the Necro, but he did get the benefit earlier rounds in the Necro from the RNG that maybe set him up to even be as close as he was.
Yeah, it's just that defense break. Also, if you saw at the very end of his last Necro run, the boss was able to pull up another shield, which was able to bring back that probably 8 seconds that he needed.
Yep, just that close. The razor's edge is the sort of margin that you're dealing with against ShreddedPuzzle. And as of right now, it's 0-bit who is going to be holding on in the dungeon run.
Yeah, lots of exciting matches, though, coming up there, especially FWA versus YDCB. That's going to be one to make sure that you guys are watching out for as well.
So we're going to send it down to our sideline correspondent, Maria Ho, who is with the man to beat in the dungeon run, 0-bit.
0-bit, congratulations on having the fastest time in the dungeon round, keeping you alive right now. How does it feel? Are you excited?
It feels good. I was a little bit nervous in the first match, but now I'm okay, I guess. So I just hope I keep going up again.
Is there somebody that you would least like to face in the next part of the revival round? Maybe Shredded because he put you here?
I would like to rematch with Koopa Troopa. So Shredded is, I think he's a really good opponent for me. So yeah.
All right, well, maybe you'll get your rematch.
I hope so.
All right, so 0-bit certainly sitting pretty right now. He had to sweat it out, just 8 seconds separating him and Island Grown, who is no doubt disappointed not to have set the best time. As you get a look at the times that were posted there, Jiraiya with that very conservative line ended up with a heavy 7-minute and 47-second time. Rinriona, the first player to go into the dungeon round after falling to Fwa in the PvP, posted the 413. And I don't know, boys, 320, is that number going to fall?
It's going to be pretty darn interesting here. I'm really looking to see what people could do. 320 is actually a pretty darn time considering all the three stages here, but again, we never see what they're going to bring.
Well, it's going to be 2 out of those 4 remaining players from the PvP bracket that are going to need to get into that dungeon run and clear that 3-minute 20-second time if they're going to hope to stay alive through the revival side of things. Fwa and YDC be real clash of the titans, though, boys.
Yeah, definitely. That fight is going to be just an amazing one. I'm really looking to see what these two bring. They've been following each other for quite some time, and I really think there's going to be some unique and interesting monsters here.
Yeah, definitely going to be something that you're going to see the innovation come out of those two players, and should be exciting. Hopefully it doesn't come down to one last violent proc, or maybe hopefully it does, so that way there's a little bit excitement from it.
Absolutely terrific first round of action from Newark, New Jersey at the Mobile Masters Invitational Summoners War Edition. Don't go anywhere.